the macho Mandalorian is here. Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, Django Fett here, Honey Down Games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And Star Trek Beyond is the final movie of the new Star Trek film trilogy. And if you guys want to check out my thoughts of Star Trek 1 and 2, I'll put a link down below in the description. It's all in just one video. Go check out my thoughts and see what I think of the video. Or the movie, I should say. Now, this movie is set a year or a couple years after Star Trek Into Darkness, after the events of Star Trek Into Darkness, and follows the events of the crew as they explore into space this time. They actually do exploration this time, guys. And is directed by, believe it or not, Justin Lin, the guy who did the Fast and Furious series. And I know what you're thinking, Fast and Furious, this movie is set to suck really badly. Well, you'd be surprised. This movie is actually really, really great. Let's first talk about the positives. It's got a great returning cast. Everyone returning, and it actually feels like a team movie this time instead of like the last film, which is like a Spock and Kirk film. This last film feels like the first film again, but even more of a team film than ever before. This is much more grounded film, focusing more on the characters themselves, and does a wonderful job at showing you that. And surprises like Karl Urban as Bones, he and Spock, Zachary Quinto, are fantastic in this movie. Great chemistry between the two, and for once it's not Kirk all the time in your face. It's all about like the other characters as well. And Bones, Karl Urban was just fantastic in this movie. He was a great surprise. And then we have Anton Yelnats, who recently passed away, but he has a good runtime, screen time in this film. And they really do his character justice. He had a lot of screen time, and he did a really good job in this film. And just rest in peace, Anton Yelnats. And something I complained about before in the last movie, last two movies, I should say, is it's too overly dark, not enough humor. And they actually fixed it. It's less dark this time, and more humor implemented in this movie. Also, surprise in Jayla, who is the black and white alien in this movie, and she is the great female character who kicks butt in this film. She's just a great addition in the Star Trek universe. And they did an okay job with Leonard Nimoy and the tribute for him. I think it's okay. I didn't think it was like as great as people are saying it is. It was decent. And the visuals are really good. There's barely any lens flares for those who are complaining about lens flares constantly. I personally love the lens flares and kind of miss not seeing them all the time. If you didn't like the lens flares, you're gonna like this film because there's hardly any lens flares whatsoever. Now, this movie does have some negatives going in, and the biggest one I can name is the pacing. The pacing is really, really fast in this film. Everything goes by so fast that at points you can't keep track of what the heck is going on. And the pacing goes so fast that you can't just sit down and enjoy and take it all in. Makes it hard to enjoy a film when the pacing is just very fast. And there are some plot holes in the film. Some more obvious than others, but it wasn't a big deal in this film compared to Into Darkness. And then there were some weird out of place moments. The music playing in the first trailer. It's in the movie, and it just seems out of place in my opinion when they played it and the scene happened. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was just kind of out of place in my opinion. And then there were some bad CGI moments. Just a couple scenes that just didn't flow very well. That just seemed out of place in my opinion. And then we have Crawl, played by Idris Elba. Idris Elba I'm a big fan of. I love anything this guy plays. He was an okay villain as Crawl. Not very intriguing up until the end he was, but that's the problem. You don't know his motives, you don't know his intentions, you don't know the character up until the end, which is a huge negative. And you could have actually understood his character from the beginning, like Khan, played by Benedict Cumberbatch in the last film. Could have done something like that with his character and made you care about him, but you didn't really care. He was just another villain. He's better than Nero in the first film, but he's nothing. He's not even close to Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. This movie is a great surprise, so for me, Star Trek Beyond gets a This movie is worth seeing in theaters. Fuck Ghostbusters and go watch this movie instead. It is absolutely worth your money, worth your time. It's a great film. And for those who didn't like the first two films, you're gonna like this film a lot more. Definitely gonna be getting this on Blu-ray without a doubt to add to my collection. And I would say it's my least favorite of all the Star Trek films. That's not a knock against the film by any means. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever, but I didn't think it was up to par like the other two films, but that's just my opinion. Just a great trilogy overall. They did a fantastic job with the Star Trek trilogy, and I'd love to see spin-offs, and you know, I think it would really work with Star Trek a lot more than Star Wars in my opinion, and I'd like to see them do a spin-off trilogy based on Star Trek The Next Generation. I'd love to see that. That would be freaking awesome as hell. So that's Star Trek Beyond. Guys, don't forget to please like and comment down below. Go watch the movie right now. Tell me what you think of it if you've seen it in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Django Fett. And I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Oh, yeah!